The next item is the professional learning report. Dr. Pilch?
Well, I would be highly unqualified to presume that I could provide you with this report because I have the expert standing here at the podium. Dr. Amy Szymanski, take it away.
Thank you. So I'm very pleased tonight to offer and present our professional learning report for 2015. As you know, we have a very robust system of professional learning that includes our early release system, our professional development days, and kind of our, I guess, flagship, our summer professional development. And so tonight's report is mostly going to focus on that. Although professional learning happens year-round, it is in the summer that our teachers take a full advantage of the offering and the choices that we offer, and they're able to do that without leaving their children and their students in their classroom. So it's a benefit to them, and then it's a benefit to our whole system. Last spring, our educators asked us to focus on district professional, or our district professional development on district priorities. And so I think you've seen this slide before, but we are continuing that focus, ensuring that all of our educators know the breadth and the depth of standards and assessment. They use a data analysis process to improve student learning, that we all look at and begin to use blended learning models to accelerate student progress and personalize learning, and that we're employing quality strategies to help all of our students, especially our English learners. This table here outlines the course offerings across the year, and this is just for our summer offerings. So you'll see in 2015, we had 189 courses. Some participants took more than one session, so the result was 3,306 completed sessions, or over 35,000 hours of professional learning. And you'll notice a slight decrease in the number of offerings and the courses that our teachers took. We think this is due to several factors. Fewer district initiatives that required professional learning, so that is, I think, a good thing. Sessions that were more aligned to those district priorities that I just talked about. And then we had quite a few courses that really targeted on a specific content area or focus area for our music teachers or art teachers. And so those don't draw as large of a participant base. We do have very high internal in-district training capacity, and we had several district administrators, principals, instructional coaches, and other employees that offered professional learning. It was so encouraging to see that we had 31 teachers who were course facilitators, and so this was an improvement and an increase. And our Professional Development Council really gets out there and encourages some of our teacher leaders to become course facilitators. This table shows our average percent by level, and so you'll see, although summer professional development is totally optional and by choice, that we have a very high percentage of our teachers engaged in professional learning at all of the levels. There are some direct costs to professional learning across the district, and so this chart compares several years of expenses. You'll see that our supplies, material, and trainers line item has stayed relatively stable, and our highest expense is teacher stipends, and that stayed relatively stable. We continue to minimize costs for facilities, food, and beverages. Our total cost was $246,940, which was just a slight increase from 2014. But this slide really demonstrates the shift in the use of funds. So our grant funds and the rules and regulations around our title dollars, Gear Up, Perkins, and other state and federal grants are more restrictive, and so you'll see we use less grant funds, and that's not because of our desire, but because of the grant rules. And we did want to offer the same level of expertise and support, and so the general fund expense is a little bit higher in 2015. Professional development is a long-term investment in our employees. And this summer we awarded 1,608 credits, and we had 94 of our educators that were eligible for salary or horizontal advancement. And so the total cost to the district is between $109,000 and $251,000, and that variation is due to where the teachers are on their salary schedule. So if I'm lower on the salary schedule, my percent increase is a little bit less. We continue to evaluate our summer professional development classes. The Professional Development Office processed and received almost 1,500 evaluation forms. So almost everyone evaluated courses that they took this summer. And you can see here, overall, very positive perceptions of the classes, the quality, and the presenters. And then also our teachers are agreeing that they will be able to use the strategies that they learned, and it will help the students in their classroom. That kind of ends my little talk about summer, and I want to just take about 2 minutes to talk about our professional learning efforts and how we're continuing some of the themes from last spring throughout the year. So we know that if we're really going to meet the needs of our educators, we need to continue to differentiate our offerings for professional learning, and not just during the summer, but on our Mondays or our high school professional development days. And so this year, the principals worked with the level directors, worked with district leadership to set some very specific goals for each level around what the district-wide professional learning will look like. So for elementary, that includes implementing our new resources that this board approved and reviewed last spring in the areas of reading, writing, and math, and then aligning our instruction to that. Our middle school educators, as you know, are working on that middle school Tier 1 instructional improvement plan, and also working on meeting the diverse needs of our middle schoolers. And our high school principals have 4 goals that we've been working on with the revised high school schedule on Mondays. And so, for example, today we met at 7 o'clock and worked on engagement strategies, and then our content groups met to work on assessment and unit planning. Our next steps that are focused on from teacher feedback and recommendations, this is some of the important work of the Professional Development Council. We look at these every year, and we looked at our TEL survey data, other data that Mr. DeWitt and Mr. Eads had collected, and said, where do we need to go to improve our professional learning so that it can be of great value across the system? And so here's their recommendations. First of all, just to continue the focus and not try to be all things to all people. 2, to involve our educators in lending their voice and their choice, listening to their feedback so that we build teacher ownership and also a collective responsibility for the results that we're getting from our professional learning. Third thing is to continue to differentiate the offerings And so sometimes that's by content or grade level, sometimes it's by interest or expertise or skill level. And so our instructional coaching staff and our district coordinators, our principals and teacher leaders are helping us do that. And the more capacity we have, the more able we are to move forward in that way. And then the fourth one is to really use our evaluation in a more ongoing way. So we've been investigating and piloting different quick response systems through SurveyMonkey, QR readers, and those types of things, so that we can respond more quickly to the needs of our principals and our educators. So I want to thank you for this opportunity to share some data and information regarding our professional learning system.
Thank you very much. Dr. Pilch, to sum up, or shall we go to
I'm great.
board comments
Go
and
ahead.
questions?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Board comments and questions. Mr. Hall.
Dr. Szymanski, what's the total number or the actual number of individuals participating in the program that make up that 3,300 course?
It is, well, we figure it out by level, but it's about 900 of our 1,200 certified teachers. So that's about 75% across the board. So a little bit higher at elementary and a little bit lower at high school.
Okay. Thank you.
Other comments or questions? We've been following along and watching as programs have shifted. Just want to make an observation before I ask Mr. Hafley to make a comment. You kind of oversaw a pause in professional development operations and kind of took some opportunities to gather information and right-size some of the offerings for faculty. And I think I'm hearing much more now from faculty about, I've got a choice to take the kind of course that will help me, and I don't feel like my time isn't being evaluated properly or respected. So I'd like to thank you for that. Mr. Hafley.
Thank you to everybody who presents, as well as all the participants, and to you. That's awesome. Actually, mine kind of dovetails to him, and this is, we talked about dreams about being able to evaluate things and having creativity. I wonder, and I know Mr. Hall talked about this a year ago when we talked about this, is we have lots of participants who do this, and I'm curious if when our administrators are evaluating them, if they are noting, if they knew what they had taken, are they trying to implement that within their class, whether it be successful or not successful, as long as they're trying it? I think that's ultimately what matters. I don't think taking it for taking its sake, and I don't think the vast majority of our educators do that, but I mean, we talk about data, and I think that would be an important piece for us to see. You know, I took it, I want evidence that I'm trying it when I see SB 191. Thanks,
Mr. Hafley. Other comments, questions from the board? Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it, Dr. Szymanski.
Thanks. Thanks, Amy.